Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here. You've made it this far. You've watched part 1. You've watched part 2, hopefully. If you haven't, pause this video, go back and watch part 1 and part 2 because it's going to really help you to get the full thing for how to perform in a restaurant. From start, getting your foot in the door of the restaurant, to the middle portion, having that interview and trying to get them to hire you. And now here we are in video number 3 where I'm going to talk about congratulations, you've been hired to work in the restaurant. Now what? So the first thing that you need to do is have a restaurant strolling, table hopping routine put together. So I get asked this question a lot of times, and the question is something like this. So when you're performing restaurant magic, like how many routines do you have to have? Do you have like 5 or 6 different routines and you perform different routines for different tables? Or do you just do the same thing at every table? Or what? What do you need to do? So I would suggest putting together 3 routines that meet the following criteria. Number 1, they do not require a table. Now I know when you're working in a restaurant there is a table there, but you don't want to perform on the table. It's okay to set things down on the table if you need to, like to take the cards out of the case, set the case down, or if you're having a card set aside, you can place it onto the table to set aside to come back to it later, etc. What you don't want to do is perform on the table. So no, you're not going to bust out 4 coins and start doing shadow coins on the table. And the reason for this is A, table space is probably going to be limited because there's going to be things on the table. And B, if there's some kind of centerpiece or if they have bottles or glasses out already, they're not going to be able to see what you're doing. They're going to be doing this to try to see if they could even see your hands down on the table to see what you're doing, right? So make sure that you're not performing on the table. Keep it at the vertical level. Try to perform something here up where everyone can see. Number 2, it needs to be quick, visual, and to the point. You don't want to do like 3-4 minute setups for routines. You're not going to perform an 8 to 10 minute ambitious card routine. You know, you're not going to do this really deep mentalism, hypnosis stuff where, you know, you're there for like 5 or 6 minutes warming them up so that you can get into the trick. It needs to be short, quick, visual, and to the point. Very direct magic. If possible, you want the magic to be effects that are, you know, that can be done in stages. Like perfect example is an ambitious card routine. Honestly, it really is a perfect example. I know I use ambitious card routine in like all of my examples for everything, but this specifically is perfect. The reason for that is because you can make it as long or as short as it needs to be. So let's just say you see the waiters coming over and they're about to drop off their appetizer. Rather than doing that awkward, okay, don't eat yet, let me finish my trick, I got like 3 more minutes of my act to go. You can say, you know what, everyone, the food is dropped. I'd like to leave you with this one last little piece. Do some kind of last phase for your routine. Leave them the card as a souvenir if that's what you want to do, and then you can thank them for their time. Let them eat their meal. They're there to enjoy their food. Not only are they there to enjoy their food, but the restaurant owner wants them to eat their food and then get up and leave so that they can clean that table and put more guests there. The longer that you keep them there watching the magic, the more you're hurting the restaurant because now those guests aren't leaving, they're just sitting there taking up space. So that's very important as well. So essentially what I do is I come up with 2 or 3 2 to 3 minute pieces, because I don't want to be at the table for any longer than like 6 or 7 minutes. 2 to 3 minute pieces that I can perform at the table, quick, visual, to the point, don't require any table space, so that you can do the tricks and then get up and get out of there, get out of the way of the server when they show up, right? Now, some people will ask me, yeah, but you just do the same 3 tricks at every table. Yes, I do the same 3 tricks at every table, right? So my routine would look something like this. I walk up, I introduce myself. Hello, my name is Michael. I hope you're enjoying your day so far. I'm actually the house magician. It's my job to go from table to table to do a little entertainment while you wait for your food. Would you like to see a free show? They'll either say yes or no. If they say no, you can just very politely say, okay, well, thank you so much for your time. If you change your mind, let me know. I'll be happy to show you something. 99% of the time, as long as you say it's a free show, they'll say yes. Usually if they say no, it's either because they're deep in thought or having an important conversation, which you shouldn't interrupt. Or number two, they think that they have to pay for the show and they don't want to have to pay any extra money because they're already going to be paying for dinner. So as long as you say, nah, it's a free show, they should be fine. I'll perform 3 pieces of magic. Usually my routine goes something like this. I take out the invisible purse, I pull some sponge balls out of it, and I do about 1.5 minutes of sponge ball magic. Then I put all the sponge balls back in the purse, show that they've all vanished, set the purse down, and then I move on to some magic with my finger ring. Take out the ninja rings, do ninja plus, do some finger ring / linking ring magic for them. Again, a short routine that lasts about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. Then I put those things away. Then I take out a deck of cards and I perform an ambitious card routine. The final phase of the ambitious card routine is that their card ends up vanishing from the deck completely and arriving inside of the invisible purse that is sitting down on the table the whole time. So I pick up the purse, I open it up, I remove a folded playing card, open it up. There is their souvenir to keep, and then I'm done with the effect. The ambitious card routine, again, is about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes long. So I'm at their table doing 3 hard-hitting pieces of magic for essentially about 6 minutes. I leave them a little souvenir, I drop my business cards at the table, thank them so much for their time, and then I take off. I don't ask for tips, I don't hint that they're supposed to tip me, but if they want to tip me, they're more than welcome to do that. So that's essentially what my routine looks like when I'm performing. Now, it is totally fine to have a couple extra backup routines in case, you get a patron that's already seen your act. Maybe they're visiting the restaurant again for the second time and they've already seen your performance. Maybe you could do something new for them. Or something that I like to do is if I get a tip, I'll perform like an extra encore trick as a thank you for them being so generous as to give me a tip. So again, something super quick, right? An extra piece of magic. So maybe if they give me a tip, I'll say, you know what, thank you so much. Since you were so generous to give me this, I want to show you just one more little trick. And then maybe do like a 1 coin routine or something. Something quick, 30 seconds to 1 minute long. That way you're not spending too much time at the table. I'll make this very clear one more time. You don't want to be at the table for more than like 7 minutes, especially once the food is dropped. You need to clean up and you need to cut it short, thank them, and then take off. Don't make them wait, or even worse, while you're performing, they're just like, and they're eating while you're trying to perform. You don't want that to happen. And then, of course, you don't want to hold them up because you don't want the restaurant getting upset that you're making people wait to watch you, and then they're not going to leave. It's also really important to note that the time you're supposed to perform is between the moment when they have put in their order with the server and they're waiting for their food to arrive. Don't go to their table if they're already done with their meal and they're waiting for their check, and don't go to their table and interrupt them while they're eating. Okay, that's very important. So I hope some of this helps you guys with some routining ideas. If you have any more questions on this, please feel free to go ahead and leave a comment below. I also wrote a little booklet called How to Magish, the Beginner's Guide to Becoming a Professional Magician. I go into some more details in this book on restaurant magic specifically, some ideas that I didn't talk about in this little trilogy of videos. You could buy this book on my website for $15, or you can sign up for my newsletter, get the PDF and the audiobook for free. I suggest you guys check it out. I'll leave a link right there in the description below. If you want to buy a hard copy of the book, I appreciate that. But if you want to sign up for my newsletter, I am going to give you this PDF and audiobook gift 100% for free, simply for signing up. And the link to that is obrianmagic.com/signup. Really easy. If you can't remember that, don't worry. I left a link in the description below. Just click on it, put in your email address, and you'll get an email with access to the PDF and the audiobook for How to Magish, the Beginner's Guide to Becoming a Professional Magician. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you're alerted anytime I upload new content. And as always, please leave comments below so that I know what kinds of questions you guys have. If there's anything in there that I find interesting enough to make a video of it, I'll definitely consider making a future video addressing your question. And until next time, everyone, keep practicing.